I'm holding a can of powder. A hyper-engineered, scientifically calibrated, government-regulated powder, formulated by food scientists, tested in laboratories, optimized for a human being who cannot yet form a single coherent thought. A prehistoric human stumbling across a modern can of baby formula would have absolutely no idea what they were looking at. And honestly, a Paleolithic baby didn't care. Because somehow, against all odds, babies survived for 200,000 years before anyone invented a can. So how? Okay. The obvious answer is breastfeeding. And yes, me and you correct. Gold star. Let's moving on. But wait, here's the thing. Evolution is never that clean. Because not every mother could breastfeed. Mothers died in childbirth. They got sick. They had twins. They had low milk supply, which, by the way, is not a modern invention. It's biological. It's always existed. And in a world with zero hospitals, zero lactation consultants, and zero formula cans, what happened to that baby? This is the question that historians, archaeologists, and pediatricians have been quietly obsessing over for decades. And the answer involves animal bones, beeswax, and a 3,000-year-old baby grave in Bavaria. In 2019, archaeologists excavating Bronze Age burial sites in southern Germany made a strange discovery. Buried alongside infants, small ceramic vessels, tiny, palm-sized, with a narrow spout and a small handle, shaped weirdly like a little animal, like a baby's toy. At first, archaeologists assumed they were ritual objects, symbolic, decorative. Then someone thought to run a chemical analysis on the residue inside. Ruminant milk, possibly cow, possibly goat or sheep. These weren't toys. They were feeding cups, ancient sippy cups. Fire clay, roughly shaped, probably awkward to clean, basically the Bronze Age version of a plastic bottle with a rubber nipple. And here's the thing. Similar vessels have been found across Neolithic and Bronze Age Europe, across ancient Egypt, and across the Near East. Thousands of years apart. Thousands of miles apart. All doing the same job. Which means this wasn't accidental. This wasn't a fringe practice. My ancestors and yours figured out independently, across multiple civilizations, that you could feed a baby animal milk from a vessel. And it worked. Well enough that those babies grew up, had children, became us. But stop. Listen to me, because this is where it gets genuinely interesting. The clay cup isn't just a feeding tool. It's evidence of something much bigger. Let's think about what it takes to keep an infant alive when breastfeeding isn't an option. You need a community willing to source milk, an adult willing to tend a goat or cow specifically for that purpose, someone to craft a vessel small enough for a baby's mouth, and someone, probably exhausted, probably grieving, to sit there and patiently, carefully feed that baby drop by drop. This isn't survival instinct. Animals don't do this for unrelated offspring. This is intentional care. Organized, communal, almost institutional. And that matters because it tells us something about who we were even then. Long before writing, long before cities, long before anything we'd call civilization. We were already the kind of animal that refused to let a baby die if we could help it. That's not obvious. That's not guaranteed by evolution. Plenty of species abandon infants who can't be fed. We chose differently, not once, but across every culture, on every continent, throughout all of recorded history. The clay cup isn't just a feeding tool. It's a moral artifact. So what else did humans use? Across history, the solutions were wild, creative, and sometimes, slightly gross. Wet nursing was the most common alternative. Another lactating woman, a relative, a neighbor, or in wealthier societies, a hired professional, would breastfeed the baby. In ancient Rome, wet nurses were so common they had legal contracts. The job existed in Egypt, China, medieval Europe, and colonial America. It was, for most of human history, the gold standard backup plan. In some cultures, pre-chewed food was passed from adult mouth to infant. Before you make that face, your immune system is literally built to handle it, and the saliva helps break down starches a toothless baby can't manage. It's called pre-mastication. Otzi the Iceman, who died 5,300 years ago, may have been fed this way as an infant. It's still practiced today in parts of Africa and the Pacific. And in survival situations, there are documented cases of infants being fed diluted broth, grain water, and even the milk of other human mothers mixed with animal milk. Improvised, imperfect, but enough. The formula? Humans were writing it long before they had paper. So here you are, watching a video, probably with a screen in your hand. And somewhere in your family line, maybe 5 generations back, maybe 50, maybe 500, there was a baby who couldn't be fed the usual way. And someone figured it out. Clay cup, a neighbor's milk, a creative improvisation in a moment of desperation. And because of that, that baby lived. That line continued. And here you are. The can of powder on the grocery store shelf isn't some modern invention that broke from nature. It's the latest version of the oldest human technology there is. The refusal to give up on someone too small to ask for help. Which makes me wonder, what's the most fundamental human instinct you think we've kept since prehistoric times? Let me know in the comments, because I have a feeling the answers are going to be surprisingly consistent.